What's up, everybody? Welcome back to All the Things Sort of Truth, a chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sort of Truth series with a growler of craft brew on the side. I'm Jade.
I'm Nate.
And we are going to get into chapter 25 of Wizard's First Rule tonight.
Oh, this is where I go, yeah.
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 Normally it's you, but it's, yeah.
You're doing great.
Thanks. I needed that. It's weird being on this side.
Well, you can deliver our wonderful synopsis tonight.
Deal. I'll take that deal. All right. Well, in this chapter, Richard learns why you should always keep your weapons and magical items out of reach of children. Because, you know.
Because they're kids, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a self-explanatory thing.
Yeah.
It should be.
I mean, there's some turns before we get to that point, but that's essentially the point.
Yeah. Well, let's get there.
All right.
The chapter starts with another overcast day. I mean, obviously, the snake cloud is still hiding somewhere in that sea of cloudiness, I imagine. And Kahlan's watching her man teach the mud people how to build a roof that doesn't leak.
He's not her man.
Oh, but I mean, she's like kind of pretending, I feel like.
She does. She wants it to be. I mean, you know, it's not a secret.
Yeah. She's got a crush. It's okay.
No problem with that. Yeah, he's teaching him how to build the roof, and he tells Kahlan that he doesn't need an interpreter because working with your hands is a universal language. And as a person who has, like, worked with people, not true.
I feel like in certain jobs, maybe it works better than others. Because, I mean, I know that certain places, there's people from different cultures that have to work side by side, and somehow they make it work. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never been in that situation.
It's a multilingual boss.
Well, there you go. That's probably true. That probably is how they have a coordinator. And eventually I feel like you pick up enough of each other's, like, basic lingo that you can make it by.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Or, like, hand signals. I feel like there's a lot of, like, hand signals.
That actually does come up. Richard, being Richard, invents sign language right now.
First person ever.
Really? He was like, he just made up this language with his hands. And, like, obviously he was just showing them what to do instead of telling them what to do. And it does say, hey, if it's harder to understand coming from me, when they do it right, then they'll know how to do it right. They'll understand it even better. And true, but maybe softball them in the first one. Just because you're just demonstrating and you're trying to do something for them. And it's funny because he has like half of the village is there.
Yeah, pitching
doing
in.
shit. Yeah.
And I feel like, too, these things seem like they take a long time to, like, make and bake. So maybe make sure that nobody's, like, cracking these things on accident.
Right.
I'm sure he is, but you don't want to waste time here.
You rip the whole roof off only to discover that you only have enough tiles to cover half of it back up. And it's gonna storm, so...
He shows the women how to make tiles out of clay, which is, like, that is how it goes faster. All the women are, like, doing all the grunt work over on the side.
They're forming all of the shingles. That's
Yeah.
what they're going to be. And he has the guys start ripping the roof off of the fucking spirit house.
Yeah.
Nobody brings this up. But, like, that's their spirit house. You think maybe they would have done it to some other building in the village other than, like, you're going to take our church, the most important building we have, and you're going to take the roof off of it?
I feel like maybe the only reason they did is because they don't have any other actual buildings that people aren't staying in.
Okay.
Like you just said, it rains. Nobody's living in the spirit house, so they aren't going to get soaked.
Nobody's going to have to get wet tonight, or at least not any more than normal.
Right. If Richard's plan fucking fails, they can just re-grass it. And Birdman is the one that's like seems to be in charge of the spirit house, so it'll be his fault.
It was his call, so okay. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. But so they get to stripping the grass off, and then he shows Savidlin how to build a fireplace. Just like, hey, dude, I'm going to build you a barbecue. It's going to have a spit. It's going to be awesome. You are going to love this thing.
It's going to be super sick and multi-purpose.
Right.
Get
you a nice rug.
Kahlan points out there's easier ways to build a roof. Like, you could just thatch it better. And, like, do it, just do it the other way better. And Richard's like, do you know how to do that?
Do you know how to thatch a roof, Kahlan?
Just...
Because I fucking don't, okay? I know how to build shingles.
So we're building shingles.
So this is what we're doing. This is the plan.
Go sit back down, since you're not helping a whole lot right now.
I feel like he could have shown them how to just rethatch their roofs, okay? But then they would have looked at him like, we know how to do that. We obviously just didn't do that good of a job.
Yeah.
You're not giving us new, previously unknown information.
Yeah. But also, I mean, I feel like he didn't grow up with grasslands. So it stands to reason he doesn't know how to thatch shit, probably.
Didn't have the right types of leaves and stuff.
Right.
No, absolutely. You're probably right.
He played with clay, so he knows how to fuck with clay.
So it seems like half of the village is involved in building this roof, and the Birdman would occasionally come check in with Kahlan or ask questions about Richard's personality, which are really weird. But at this point, the Birdman's job is, I'm going to try and suss you out.
Yeah.
I want to know what you're all about, if you're actually good people or if you're hiding some shit. I don't think that's his job. I just think that's his nature.
Well, it was kind of established that he is the shot caller in this little tribe of people. So it might not necessarily be his job to suss out bad people, but he is kind of, maybe not in charge, but in charge.
He's the figurehead at the very least.
Yeah. Well, no, not the figurehead, because he's like a hidden figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Richard had to figure it out. He's like the power behind the throne.
He's the Jafar, but a good guy.
Right. So all the men in the village are staying the fuck away from her, and the women obviously don't like her. We've already discussed that.
No.
And the children try to approach her, and the women are like, nope, not gonna happen.
Stay the fuck away from her.
She's used to that, though. That's like her life. She's been dealing with that forever. But now that she's been with Richard, she knows she's had some kindness. So
she knows people can act a different way towards you.
Yeah.
There's something to base it against now.
Right. And the only other people to be nice to her are Savidlin, his wife Wesleyan, and his son Sidin.
I believe it's Sidin. It's spelled Siddin.
Yeah.
But Sam Chuchivas, the narrator of Audible, says Sadine.
And that makes me think of Satine, which is the character in Moulin Rouge.
Or if you say it a different way, Satan. Just
also that, yeah.
But no, I think it's Sidin.
I like Sidin better. That's how I've always thought about it.
I think we're going to say Sidin for this episode, and if we are entirely off base, please let us know, because we're not sure.
I'm not really sure how you guys, because you're writing it. You're, you know what I mean? How you're going to let us know what you think.
Phonetic spelling.
Nate wrote this spelling down, Suhdine for Sadine.
Yes. And
we kept the regular spelling, the Siddin, for Sidin. So let us know. If you have a better way to spell out the pronunciation, then feel free to do that too. I got it out, guys.
Yes.
We're here. We made it to the end. Thanks for following us.
We are nowhere near the end.
Well, we're going to get there together. Yay. Okay, so Wesleyan was only nice at Savidlin's insistence. But otherwise, she's polite and courteous, and she doesn't let it show that she really wouldn't want to be nice to Kahlan if she had a choice.
Right, and it goes on to say that she's nice even when she has a chance to not be nice because Savidlin isn't right there. So she's like she's being nice.
Yeah, she's
not
like...
a fan, though.
Right. She's taking it on her... Like, she's decided she's gonna be nice.
Coming to my home, bitch. But, Sidon, he doesn't give a fuck. He sits on her lap, and he listens to her stories, and he gives her hugs.
Yeah.
And he's just like, whatever. He
He's
doesn't know anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Comparative. Kind of like the way Richard is towards her.
Yeah. Innocent.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
And that's what she is not attracted to. He's a kid. That's not the right word.
That was last chapter?
Yeah. And that is what she finds genuine in people. When they're not afraid of her because of what she is.
Yeah.
So, Sidon likes him. Richard likes him. Everybody else can,
Yeah.
They all know. And so they all keep their little bit of distance, but Richard and Sidon, they don't.
Right.
And so she really likes Richard and Sidon.
I mean, I would too.
Yeah.
The Birdman isn't afraid of her either, though, and he keeps coming around, hanging out, and talking to her. He's impressed by Richard's design, and he smiles to himself when he figures out how it's going to work. He finally sees, the end product kind of coming together.
I picture rain starting to come down, and he's staring at it and trying to figure out what it's going to do. And he watches the first few drips go off the edge of the tile, and he goes, oh, he's a fucking genius.
And the elders don't seem too impressed.
Yeah, no, they don't care for it.
They don't like outsiders. I mean, that was told to us before they even came into the village, though. So it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that they're not, super accepting of the weird dude coming in and changing shit up right away.
Right.
With, like you said, their spirit house. It's an important fucking building.
You come in here and you just take the top off the church.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, what are you doing? You're upending people's religious stuff.
Yeah.
People get testy about religious stuff. So
and showing them how stupid they were, kind of.
Right.
They didn't like that. That's how they felt anyways.
When I read that, I was like, that's Goodkind's words. That's not my words.
Kahlan's watching all of this. She sees that they're not pleased at all, and she wishes that Svidlin was an elder, now. Because it would make her life a lot easier.
Yeah, he has to wait until one of the elders dies, and then he becomes one.
Right.
Which is a hell of a way to get promoted.
Any way up, right?
Yeah, well, no.
It was a joke.
I know. So Kahlan wonders what Richard's going to do if the elders say no.
I feel like she was sitting there when he told the Birdman he wasn't going to do anything except, come back later after he beats Rawl.
Right. And so now Kahlan is starting to have doubts about what exactly Richard is thinking. Specifically, she is worried about back in the Narrows when he killed the last of the quad. She knows that killing a person changes the way that you see things, you weigh situations after you've taken a life, but she didn't have the heart to tell him that she didn't really need his help.
Which you shouldn't. I mean, at this point, who's it going to help?
Yeah, no, I don't think it would serve any purpose. If it was a matter of, I need the truth, then, yeah, I suppose, if it comes up, but otherwise, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
He thought he was doing a good thing, and he did do a good thing overall.
Yeah, let him think he saved you.
Yeah.
That's fine.
If you had a backup plan, great.
Yeah.
But he saved you.
I'm just saying, she was backing up a lot for somebody who's so confident she didn't need his help.
Oh, shots fired.
Yeah, she was backed up into a wall. If you were so confident, why don't you run at him with your hand out and be like, fuck you, bitch.
I'm gonna get you.
Yeah. There's only one of you.
Gonna get you.
Oh, big bad man, huh?
Right, big bad man.